There are so many of them today, too many of them to be swept out, to be gathered, to be thrown, to be burned. There were not these many last week, the past weeks, no, not these many. Today they have come fallen, loosened, sprawling. Summer has come, they say, but I say, this summer has come too early. It has arrived too soon. Too soon for a meaningful school year that's about to pass, never to return. Too soon for sweet memories that have just now begun falling and loosened and sprawling, just like these leaves. Too soon for them all to go wherever the winds may take them. I remember them all too well. Freshly painted, newly renovated dormitories, custom-made lockers and shelves, beds and mattresses topped with new bed sheets and blankets, newly repaired comfort rooms that had not been for many years a source of much comfort to the afflicted, exquisite all-painting renditions of the house patrons, finely handcrafted banners that have helped establish the identities of the four houses. I remember them all the first time I saw them. And oh, the tennis court, the meditation garden too, the new computer room, that too, and the grotto as well, thanks to Brother Eugene and company. Now, where am I? Oh yes, this year's celebrations of big annual events, intramurals, fiesta, family days, investiture, Christmas party, and that Borloloy concert too. Ah, annual events they may be, but it's the way they were celebrated. What with so much of heart and soul to them this year. What with theme songs after theme songs that immortalize them forevermore. Oh, I can really go on and on with many more fond memories, but I want to mention just two more, these two being too important to be doomed forever to neglectfulness. I am especially drawn to remember, most tenderly now, and most respectfully too, the endless rounds of schedules, routines, repetitions of seminary life that ever grind so uncompromisingly, so daily, so weekly, so monthly, so hourly too, so minutely, so secondly. I can go on and on ad infinitum. So many times I thought I'd go crazy doing all of them, following all of them too heartlessly and mindlessly more often than not. So many times I hated them, even cursed them a few times, because I am too slow on promptness or punctuality. I drag myself, body and soul, all too often, and all too often in frustration and anger. But now, especially now that I am leaving for a vacation or a regency, long or short, what does it matter? After having gone through so much of the seminary and its many demands and sacrifices on me, I feel sad for having to do things my own. My morning prayers wouldn't be the same. My meditation, my rosary, my mass, they would not be the same too. There'd be no more prayer leaders. There'd be none of those kneelings and standings, none of those prayers before meditation, prayers after meditation, prayers before the Mass, prayers after the Mass, of Sushipes and Memorares, and oh, the expositions of the Blessed Sacrament too, each night. No more of these things. none even of all those beautiful hymns by R.V. in the Mass each day, none any of my brothers in the community, none of them who'd make pranks, who'd make me laugh, make my heavy mornings a little lighter. And maybe too, I wouldn't be able to pray at all. I would just sleep instead and disregard totally my prayer life. And why? You may ask. Because maybe there is not a place really like the seminary. Here we do things together almost all at the same time and place. And then, when we stop doing them all together, especially on long breaks, we don't seem to like prayer. Because maybe we had not loved prayer and its many routines enough when we ought to have loved them while they were still so close to us. We have not truly loved the seminary while we were still with her and she with us. And so we long for all of them familiar. No matter the tiresome repetitions of opening and closing the breviary, the hymnals, the prayer booklets, no matter the mechanicals of rising up to the sound of a broken bell, going to the same bathroom 3 times a day or more, passing through the same staircase, sitting on the same little space of a wooden pew, falling asleep during meditation, entering the same refectory to eat the same kind of food, studying in the same hall, meeting the same faces day in and day out. No matter all these, we long for them when we are far and away. And yet, the truth is, we cannot bring them back all together. Not anymore. Not unless we have them all interiorized, embedded in our hearts, in our life forever. I have it all figured out now. In the process of my own priestly formation, all that is required of me, first and foremost, is just to abandon myself completely to the seminary, even with so much of heartlessness or mindlessness or hatings or cursings on my part. After all, the work of transformation that priestly formation is, first of all, God's work. It is grace at its best. This school year too has drawn me in particular to the community, to the house of Carlos. It's true, so many times I go to SM or Ayala in order to forget the seminary for a while. The seminary can get too much on one's nerves also. There are the formators sometimes. They seem to be always on the lookout for misdemeanors only. Some days I adore them. Some weeks I despise them. Ahem. And there are my fellow brothers too. Thomas is padlungun as ever.